Welcome to Life Journal Jumpstart. We hope that you enjoy. My name is Paul Brown, and I will be going through some of the context and history of today's reading. The very first book is 2 Kings 17. We see in 2 Kings that it's most likely written by Samuel and his disciples, and we see that this book is about how we honestly said, God, we don't want you, we want another king. And God answers. He allows us to have other kings. So this book isn't really a historical book. Some people believe that they look at it like maybe this is a historical book, but it's not. It's really a book that focuses on the covenant between God and his people. In fact, that's why two of the kings that they highlight is Josiah and King Hezekiah, because they reestablish again the covenant between God and his people. They do major sociological shifts to make sure that God is first. They tore down idols. They reestablished the temple and the workings of the temple. And we see that Hezekiah and Josiah reflected this, the connection again, that they would love God with all their heart, with all their mind, with all their whole soul, with all their strength. And we see again that it's a covenant. So anytime we look through it, we can actually see, oh, it's talking about a relationship between God or a lack of thereof. And now we're going to 2 Chronicles 28. 2 Chronicles 28. We see that in Jewish tradition that it's written by Ezra, and really Chronicles, 2 Chronicles is written to the returning exiles from Babylon. So they're coming back, and it's really a book talking specifically to them, specifically showing them the ways that we have done well and the ways that we have not done well, giving the history of what the nation of Israel has done well and how they've adhered to the covenant and have they not adhered to the covenant. In this one specifically, it's talking about the unfaithfulness of King Ahaz. The unfaithfulness. And we see that God, even in his unfaithfulness, was faithful. But this king was actually pressured to idolatry. And when the pressure came, he turned not to God, but turned to other idols. So when you look at this, we can see that, oh, okay, again, when the pressure's on, what do we turn to? Do we turn to God, or do we turn to other idols? We continue on now in Psalms 46, and most likely written by David or maybe the Davidic kings, or even some of the people that were in the temple doing the music. That could be it. But this song specifically talks about how God is faithful and that we can turn to him at any time, that we can turn to him even when life gets hard. Continuing in James 3, you see James 3 is in that same light, talking about how we must be people like James, who was a man and a pillar of the church, who come back and reflect not only the actions but the heart of God, and that the heart of God will now follow from that actions. We see that he talks about protect your mouth. Make sure that the things that you're saying, the tongue, are glory bringing to God, and that it's the good of his people. In fact, he says if you can tame the tongue, you can tame the whole body. So as you read and consider James and Psalms, would you look at this as in a context? Each book has its own context, its own story, its own narrative, talking about really the relationship with God and with his people and his people to each other. So I hope that encourages you and that you benefit from listening to Life Journal Jumpstart. We'll see you later.